Thanks to the support as a channel member, Paul Winfield. Well, folks, after some extensive research since the last episode, I have established the Premier League is quite hard. Hello and welcome to Club 2, part 26 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Premier League. We're away against we're at home against the team that must not be named, and also at home against Liverpool. Since you were last with me, though, this has been our start to life in the Premier League. It's been a challenge, and we are still in the Carabao Cup. We knocked out local rivals Northampton and Huddersfield to set up a tie with Manchester City in the fourth round. But we lost to West Ham, lost to Leeds, drew to Wolves, lost to Bournemouth, lost to Fulham, and then drew with Norwich. Remember when I said we probably needed somewhere in the region of 10 points from those 6 games if we had any chance of surviving? We got 2 points from those 6 games. Luckily, there's lots of other teams around us that seem equally useless. Sheffield United have lost all 6 of their games so far, so who knows? Maybe we'll only need 20 points to survive. I think we might struggle to get to 20 points, especially because the run of games that we've got now, Man United, Liverpool, Tottenham, Leicester, that's a challenge. We need to somehow get something out. If we're on 2 points after 10 games, we have a big problem and no confidence going into the next relatively easy run. We've got to be thinking in terms of the Kev ratio this year. If you're not familiar with the Kev ratio, it's very simple. When you're in a relegation battle, you need to be on the same number of points as you are on games played. So we're already 4 points behind the Kev ratio. We need to be starting to catch that up. I suspect we probably won't be catching that up today, but you never know. Has there been any transfers since the last episode? I don't think there has. I don't think we did anything more. There's my under 23 youth development man just started signing players for fun. So there's been loads of them that have come in. I mean, literally all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players who are all rubbish have come in to fill up the under 23s. We didn't sell anybody though. There's quite a few players who've gone out on loan. Lots and lots of loans this year. But the squad is the same squad. We've got to make do with what we've got. And we're going with Jaskalainen in goal. A back four of Lopez, Doyle, Solomon and Dehaney. Lopez playing at left back because of an injury to both Gaz Key and Brandon Williams. Ridiculous. Barrett's at the base of the midfield. Taylor and Wassell ahead of him. Then Odor and De Frutos supporting Ricky J. Jones up front, who he might not be a Premier League striker. He's a decent player for most Premier League sides, apparently. I think we probably need to get him back out onto the wing to get the best out of him. But Simon Patton, also maybe not a Premier League striker. We might be ending up going with Jean-Kevin Augustin as our striker, who's got 2 goals from 5 games, all off the bench. So he might be the man that we go with. I'll just feel bad not playing either Jones or Patton. It's bad enough only playing one of them. I end up playing neither of them. I'll feel like I've failed my boys. So I need to persist with Ricky J. Jones a little bit longer. I've got to believe he's going to come good. Right. What is it? We can't even pump our fists and say play without pressure. What can I do? Clasp hands together cautiously and do that. We'll do that. We're going to see. I mean, this is going to be bad, isn't it? We're going to get absolutely battered here. It seems long gone are the days where you turn up in the Premier League and all of the teams play their reserves against you because your reputation's low. Looking at this Manchester United side, there's far too many names I recognise in it. And they seem to be taking us seriously, which this isn't supposed to happen until the second season. What's happened to the traditional Football Manager promotion trajectory in the Premier League? If you go up, finish about 8th in your first year because you've had a year playing against all the reserves, and then you're in a relegation battle in season 2. It's all been spoilt by teams taking us seriously. And also, I think this is probably the worst squad I've ever taken up to the Premier League in all my years playing Football Manager. And we are very, very ill-equipped for life at this level. And if we do manage to survive, it might just be one of my greatest ever FM achievements. Just don't expect it to happen. because I don't think it's going to. Harry Maguire has just put Manchester United or goal up against us. That's his third goal of the season for them. That's already more goals than any of our players have scored for their defender. Their defenders scored more goals than any player in our squad. And that does put us down to 19th place as things stand. In the relegation zone, I think that might be the first time in the season so far we've been in the relegation zone. But we are, expect us to hang around there quite a lot. United have won 6 from 6 in their first, they've won all 6 of their first 6 games. That sentence was harder than it needed to be. Whereas we haven't yet won a game in the Premier League. So I do suspect it's going to be a long afternoon. They're just knocking the ball around us as if we're not really there. We might as well not be. I am wondering if we might need to switch back to the system that we used back in League One when I first arrived at Posh in League One, that team wasn't good enough to get promoted, and we ended up getting them up through playing a counter-attacking system and just being solid at the back and grinding out results. The problem with doing that now, and why I've been a little bit reluctant to move towards doing it, is the reason it worked for us in League One is because we might have been a bit rubbish in most positions, but we did have 2 championship centre-backs playing for us, and it did make it easy to sit back and defend because we were so strong defensively, whereas now I look at the defenders we've got, we could play 8 of them against Manchester United and they're still going to score. So sitting back and defending, I don't know that it's going to stop us conceding goals. It's just going to make it even harder for us to score goals, and we find it hard enough to score goals as it is. So I kind of think that our only hope, and it seems so counterintuitive, but to me it makes sense, our only hope is to continue attacking and hope that we get a little bit of luck somewhere along the way and maybe grab an unexpected victory. And that gets the ball rolling. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh dear. Even when we win the ball like that, and again, De Frutos and Jones both winning the ball there, but then immediately giving it away before we can do anything with it. It is like men against boys because they get the ball and do that with it. We get the ball and just give it straight back. Ricky J. Jones could do that in the Championship. He can't even get control of the ball in the Premier League. Oh, look at the pace of Greenwood there. We were supposed to have a quick striker who could do that to teams. Doyle, we've scored a goal! Oh, you got to take the victories where you can get them this year. We've scored a goal against Manchester United. Callum Doyle, the former Manchester City man, has done a football. It doesn't matter that we're going to lose. We scored a goal. It's a lovely header as well, actually. Maybe that's the moment. Maybe a consolation goal against Manchester United is how we turn the season around. I tell you what, if we grab another one here, that was probably being a bit too hopeful. Perhaps set pieces are the way forward. Doyle trying to get something moving for us. Again, this is the longest a Posh player's been in possession of a football today. Doyle is up for it. Now he's got his goal. Perhaps we need to convert him to a striker. Berat to Doyle again. And Berat, we're keeping hold of the football. This is beautiful. Well, we were keeping hold of the football. Now we're not. And Greenwood's in again for United. That's some lovely defending from Doyle. He's having a good game. He is very much up for this. In fact, his 7.6 rating is as good or better than just about anybody on the pitch. We might be being outclassed by Manchester United, but Doyle doesn't look like he is. So I wonder if what I was saying about not having good enough defenders, maybe we have. Is our best player a centre-back? Then we just need to find him a partner, which it might be Sykes. We've given Solomon a good start to the season in the side. He's not necessarily rewarded me, so maybe it's time to get Sykes back in. I'm not sure. Right. We are building from the back. Solomon playing it forward to Jones, who's actually turned with the ball. Why is he not turned and run, though? Jack Taylor's in here. Jack Taylor shoots, and he would usually score that. He doesn't score it there. I'm not going to take off Lopez to bring on Gibson. That seems like an absolute madness. Lopez throwing it forward to Odor, who turns and plays it back to Taylor. Taylor's getting a little bit more involved now, as is Wassell, who plays it forward to Jones, who wins his header, but there's nobody up there supporting him. And we've looked brighter in this second half. We still don't look like we're competitive with Manchester United, but we have looked a little bit brighter. Jaskalainen making a save, which is nice to see. We have got Patton and Augustin on the bench, who are probably both going to come on in a minute as we look to throw some attacking players at the problem and maybe find a way to. I mean, we're not going to score 2 goals. Although De Frutos has won the ball back here, we have got a break. It's De Frutos charging forwards. Jones is in the middle. De Frutos takes 1 touch too many, and when he should be drilling that across goal for Jones to have a tap in, he's taken it a little bit too far and hit it into the side netting. It's like playing FM20 all over again. Right, we're definitely bringing Patton on. He's going to come on for De Frutos. You know what? We're going to bring Augustin on as well, and we're going to stick Jones out on the wing. And we're going to go with the shape that I've wanted to do for so very long. Who else have we got on the bench who could come on and change things up? Kasani potentially could come on in that midfield. If we bring him on for Wassell, he's a slightly more attacking player. If we're ever going to get back in the game, it's with this combination. That might be the front 3. Who knows? It might work. We've been told in the coach reports for a year that Jones is a future Premier League left winger and Patton is a future Premier League right winger. Neither of them have ever been described as future Premier League strikers. So maybe if we're going with them, we're going to have to go with them wide. They've been completely ineffective there, though, haven't they? 3-1 home defeat. You know what? It could have been an awful lot worse. But I imagine we're now going to get a repeat of that against Liverpool. Right, after much deliberation, I've decided I can't just sit there and take another beating. So we're going to try and go for it a little bit. And we're going back to the Kettering tactic. That can't go wrong, surely. And I've also realised that Clark Odor can also play left back. So we don't need to play Lopez out of position there. We can drop him back, bring Myton back into the side, playing as an inside forward. I did toy with the idea of moving Jones out there and maybe starting Augustin or Patton. But I feel like Jones has to be the answer up front. I might be proven wrong in the long term. So we're going with Jaskalainen in goal, a back four of Odor, Doyle, Solomon and Lopez, Wassell and Taylor in midfield, Myton, Kasani and De Frutos as the attacking midfield 3, supporting Ricky J. Jones up front. Liverpool aren't as good a side as Manchester United in this universe because it's Football Manager, and that's what happens to Football Manager. Liverpool always end up rubbish long term. Manchester United always end up good long term. Blame the researchers for those teams. That's all I can say. But either way, this is a team that are currently 7th in the Premier League in the shape of Liverpool, compared to the team that's won every one of their games so far as Manchester United. Well, they're up to 4th at the moment, because I guess we're an early kickoff. And we are still not yet rock bottom of the league, thanks to Sheffield United. I think I'll be thanking Sheffield United a lot this season. I mean, they're conceding goals for fun. Our goal difference is still less than our games played, which is nice. At least we're not as bad as them. Big, long throw that Liverpool struggled to deal with. And Wassell's keeping hold of the ball nicely here on the edge of the area, looking for an option. He finds Kasani, then Jones and De Frutos from range, and we've gone ahead against Liverpool. This is a madness. I actually think, in real life, Peterborough do have a 100% winning record against Liverpool in competitive games. I think we've only played against them once in the Rumbelows Cup in, I believe, 1991. A Rutherford goal, if you're interested. Rutherford, something like that. I mean, I was a kid. I was a small kid. I didn't go to the game. I was too young. It was a school night. I remember it happening. It's the brother of the guy who used to play for Wimbledon. I can't remember. Was that Gary? Was it Rutherford? Butterworth? No, Rutherford. Oh, look, Rutherford. I want to say Gary Rutherford, but that might have been the fellow who was at Wimbledon. It might have been the other guy who played for us. Either way, scored against Bruce Grobbelaar. This is a slightly different Liverpool side, though. And Lopez has just dispossessed Mane as if he's not there. I mean, it's a good Liverpool side. There's most of the top players that I know from real life are still in there. But I've noticed Upamecano, Pellegrini, Dybala. They've kind of added a few, haven't they? How is this Liverpool side not top of the league? And they have now equalised. Mane with the goal. It's 1-1. And I worry that that's going to be the first of many the first of many goals today because this Liverpool side scares me a little bit. But what do I know? I'm just a handsome football manager. Right, 33 minutes gone, and we... I mean, a draw here would be a phenomenal result. Jones has suffered a tight hamstring, apparently, so we'll bring Patton on at half-time, which is the substitution that the dugout is recommending, so Patton can have half of a match playing against the Liverpool back four. I mean, it's only Virgil van Dijk and Upamecano will be fine. Jones is in there. Goodness me, if Ricky Joe Jones sticks that top corner, maybe we let him play on with a torn hamstring. It's not a torn hamstring, hopefully. Just a pulled hamstring. I'm getting fed up with gestures. Gestures are stupid. Right. Jones is going to come off. Patton is coming on. This is the most football Patton will have had in the Premier League. 45 minutes. He's not started a game yet. He's not looked with it at all coming off the bench, although he did score in the most recent Carabao Cup game. So maybe, but it was a lovely through ball from Patrick Roberts. If you're wondering where he is, he got injured in that game and is out for the next couple of months, which is unfortunate because him and Patton did seem to link up quite nicely with Roberts playing in behind him as a number 10 in the similar way to what we're playing today. Patton's just won a penalty here. He's come on and immediately looked lively, and we have the opportunity to go 2-1 up here. The ref seems to be taking his time giving the penalty. We're going over to VAR. Fingers crossed the penalty is going to be forthcoming, and it is. I don't know who our penalty taker is. Taylor, maybe? Suleiman. What is that? Why is he taking the penalty? I have never in a million years said he should take penalties. It's ridiculous. Corner comes in from Odor and it's cleared. And now Liverpool are 2-on-2. Alexander-Arnold is charging forward and someone needs to deal with him. Well, apparently they don't. He's just done a terrible attempt at a cross of his own. Probably feels guilty for the fact that he got into such a good position when it was directly from our penalty. I don't understand what's gone on there. Why is Suleiman taking the penalty? Idiots. Have I even set piece takers? Virgil, knowing what side his bread's buttoned, he's my boy from the Streamer Showdown. He doesn't want to score against me. He's just lumped it way over the top of the crossbar. We've actually moved up to 18th place as things stand. Wolves dropping below us. If they get relegated and we stay up, we might be able to sign Joyce. I mean, there's some big ifs there, but, maybe. And for my final trick, I am going to take off Myton and bring on Augustin. And I'm going to get him up front. So I'm just going to shuffle this midfield around a little bit. De Frutos can be an inside forward over there, can't he? Yep. And yeah, that all seems to work. That works very nicely. Let's drop a little bit of encouragement. You know what? I'm going to go attacking. And I've made this mistake in a video already, but we're at home. We're drawing with 10 minutes to go. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We've got to try and win the football match, surely. Individual points aren't going to do us any good. 3 points here would be a phenomenal outcome. Patton's been fouled again there, I think. And this time, penalty not given. It's with Jack Taylor in midfield who finds De Frutos. We've got some men over here because we are going for it, presumably at the same time Liverpool are. Odor playing it through to Augustin, who's in. Oh, where's the finish there? Oh, no. That was the opportunity. Augustin fluffing his lines. And, oh, my word, I thought Upamecano was going to grab a goal for Liverpool at the other end. Another one of my boys, though, from the Leicester save this year. My boys aren't going to score against me, I don't think. I mean, it would be quite nice if I could trade my defenders for those two. I think I'd probably take that. Little football manager tip for you. They're quite good defenders. You might not have picked up on that one just yet, but they are. They're quite good. Keep an eye on them if you're doing a football manager save. De Frutos! Oh, we've had some chances. We've got an XG of 3.17 today. I know it's slightly inflated by a penalty, but we've actually been the better team against Liverpool. And on another day, one of those late chances goes in and we pull off an incredible victory. I feel like that result, I know it's only a draw. It does feel a little bit like we're showing a sign of life there, though. And with there being a number of quite poor teams in this division this year, we can dream a little bit. Right, we'll be back tomorrow as ever. Probably. I don't know what to show you. Do I show you games we might win, the Sheffield United and Crystal Palace games, or do I show you like 2 from this 3 of Chelsea, Arsenal and Man City, which are the bigger teams? It's interesting to see who's playing for the bigger teams now, but we're probably going to lose them. You know what? I think we'll probably do Chelsea and Arsenal because they're our 2 home games. We might pull off an upset, and even if we don't, you get to see who's playing for Chelsea and Arsenal in 2025. Let me know down in the comments. It won't affect what I do now because I'm recording like 3 or 4 days in advance like I usually do, but it'll be interesting to know your thoughts for the future. Are you more interested in a season like this in seeing games we might win or seeing games against the bigger teams that we'll probably lose? Comment section is there for you. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.